really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. Yeah, about to see it shine, 'cause we're golden.
First of all, I want to explain slightly what Jury.Online intends to do, or what Jury.Online is all about. So, given that they've dedicated about 21 pages of their white paper to just talking about what they do or explaining how they work, I thought I will go through what they do briefly and give you an overview. But if you intend to go into using Jury.Online, I advise you check out the white paper and read about it. So, first of all, Jury.Online intends to be the future of dispute resolution. Now, not just dispute in the first place, in the sense that they're going to have, you can make deals on it. So I want to buy something, or I want to make a transaction, and I come and make a deal using Jury.Online between myself and somebody. Now, reasons why they felt this was necessary: because of charges, because of fees of making transactions around the world, and different kind of stuffs. Now, also for security. So some of the things you could expect is you come onto the Jury.Online platform, and then you make a deal between you and a person, and then you put the money for that deal in escrow. For instance, you want to buy a fridge, and then you put the money for that purchase in an escrow, such that when everything is done, everybody gets paid. But in the sense where there's a dispute now, or a problem, you can raise a dispute ticket or something between you and this person, and Jury.Online now makes the resolution between both of you go well. Now, a set of jurors or jury, the jury will be chosen from a set of qualified people that have signed themselves up onto the Jury.Online platform to be able to do the function of resolving this issue. So the function of the jurors in this case is to make research on the given case and to give their 2 cents, or to give their judgment on what they think, or who is at fault, or generally to decide a judgment on it. Now, how will they decide this judgment? They will decide by making their research, choosing different parameters to analyze the information that you have provided. For instance, the person did not submit on time, or you did not get the product, and they will analyze it and provide it. Now, this makes it possible that these jurors could just decide and choose that, okay, we want to go in favor of this person. But in this case, all the jurors are chosen in an anonymous fashion, so everybody is on its own, is on their own. So I don't know who the next juror working on this case is, so I can't, because everything on this system works with a smart contract. So once you want to get acquainted with Jury.Online, I'll advise that you get acquainted with the use and the functionalities of smart contracts, because everything is going to be a smart contract. So these jurors will decide, and then they will submit their points. And now, as you know, on the blockchain, it takes up to 51% of acceptance for something to go right. So I'm guessing the same thing will be in the case of using of Jury.Online, where you will have to get the jurors to decide, more than 51% of them, to decide on a particular part that will now be used as the accepted judgment or the accepted point. Now, who pays for these transactions? Now, the person putting it in, first of all, puts an amount for the work done to pay for these transactions to be done, and then you could decide to make different changes in the form of deciding that, okay, the other person will share the payment, or the person at fault will have to pay for the whole thing. But generally, the way the system of judgment works in the real world is being implemented onto the blockchain using the sense of smart contracts. So these jurors, now the main question is, what incentivizes me as a jury member not to make a fake or a wrong decision? Now, what incentivizes a jury member is the fact that they are going to be rated, so they don't want to lose their rating due to a wrong choice, or they are also going to get paid for this reason. So incentive for the jury to stay on the platform. So if they are going to get paid, it means they have to make a better decision and have to go in and make better research and all. Because now, in the case of an appeal, for instance, the ruling goes against you and you want an appeal, you can make an appeal, and this appeal will now have to be watched over by a higher authority, for instance a more experienced judge or a higher judge, which will cost more, but I guess that's what you have to pay for better or higher case studies. But it's quite big, and our advice, if you really want to get into the works and nitty-gritties of Jury.Online, reading the white paper would be advisable. Now I'll go through the team quite fast and then move on to the spreadsheet. So the team contains a lot of developers, and then the other part of the team, the COOs, the PR, the business, marketing, and so on and so forth. So they have it all, but the main question people on the blockchain ask is who is an all-star and who is not an all-star. Now you could call them all-stars, but I feel most of these people are all-stars in their various endeavors in life, but they might not be so big names in cryptocurrencies. And from what I understood from even what an interview I watched about the CEO, he said they don't see popularity as a measure of how good an ICO is, but as just a measure of how much money they could have to employ more people. I understand that credibility might come with the use of better or more experienced people, but this is just not what the ICO of Jury.Online believes. So these are the advisors, and here we have the roadmap.